There we go. All right, well, let's do that again. That should have gone through before now, but it's not. Welcome to our Storytime stream. This is, as always, I am Brittany Dotson, aka Imbria Arts. This week we're going to be doing Mobster X Maid Girl as the series, and we're just going to continue our story here today. Next week we are going to continue on or do some Demon Blade Christmas stories. Or holiday stories, because this one also includes New Year's. And we are going to also today, on Christmas week, which will be the 23rd, we're going to be doing the one or two Christmas stories we haven't figured out yet, but they're not going to be, they're going to be not by me, they're going to be by other people. And we'll see where we go from there. They're just going to be short little stories that we read out loud to you all. If you have a suggested story that you want read on the stream, let me know, and I'll be happy to do that. But today, we're going to continue on from where we left off with our I was a killer mobster, but lady killer mobster, but now I'm a klutzy maid girl that will take on a demon lord. So we're on chapter 7, The Unwanted Visitor. Come now, my dear Azul. Why are you being so dissident? Asked the severely beaten up old king. Did I do something wrong? Azul walks up and lightly slaps the king. You idiot. You know what she did to Mom, and yet you still go and see Mom. Why don't you know? You know, you will just get punished for caring for you both. A warm smile appears along the bruises and welts of the king's face. I've told you before, I married Jezela due to my duty to this kingdom, but my heart had already belonged to Eris. Then, when you and your brother were born, I gained a new duty, that of your father. But it appears I failed that one with the pain I let the queen cause to you. And Eris, I'm afraid, dearly sorry that my dear sweet Azul. Forgive him, shouts a weepy-eyed Grell. He only cared for you and your mother, echo the weepy-eyed Brookins. Shut up, both of you. You know nothing about this mess. And you, Dad, I won't forgive you. I can't when you act so foolishly getting your body trashed by seeing Mom. Seriously, that damn hag queen could have at least let Mom heal you after she did this. Well, I've been a fool for a while, I guess. But did I ever tell you about when Jezeel found out about you being born? The day we found out your brother would be the hero of this world. Azul looks puzzled, and Vendel groans. I guess training will wait till after the king finishes this snore fest. Wake me when you three find your balls. Vendel, that isn't very ladylike. You should be quiet and act more polite, don't you know? Jenny scolds the mark. The king coughs. Yes, I remember that day clearly. The story fades into the king's memories of 7 years earlier. In the castle's throne room, the king is shrinking down in his throne to make himself look smaller as the queen is giving orders about. How dare any of you useless peasant swine fail in your duties? I am with child and the future ruler of this land. I demand you get me what I request, or I'll lock you in the dungeon and have you flogged non-stop for a week. Tell them, Handel, you are the king. Act like it. Yes, dear. Please, Lady Merrill, can you go fetch the queen her pickles and cream? I will, my lord, but it will take time. Then there's the matter of Miss Darkhold. Eris, is she okay? The king says in a panic, but quickly shirks when he sees the dark glare of the queen. Yes, my lord. It's just she's having a difficult time moving about in her condition. Yes, yes. The stupid doctor got herself knocked up by some roaming drunkard. It was bound to happen to the reckless hussy like her. But that does not mean she can shirk her duties in tending my needs, the queen demands. Send her here at once. Yes, my lady, Meryl says with a small grimace. She makes her steady exit and guards move up to appear before the king and queen. Excuse me, my lord, but there's some strange woman at the gate. Demands to be let in. And did you let her in, you lowly scum? Well, no, my lady, but she stated it was of utmost importance to the world. It pertains to the demon lord. The demon lord? Could it be that he is finally set out to attack us after all these years? The king asked, straightening up. Please, the demon lord has no reason to attack and he has no reason to attack now, the queen scoffs. But a sudden burst of light gets the queen in the face and turns to shock when a young mage appears before them. I believe I have no mention of an attack from the demon lord, no? But I was sent here on a mission to help guide to face the demon lord, the young girl proclaimed, as the king begins to panic and curls up in his throne. I will not go on another such reckless quest. Of course, you aren't, Handel, and I won't allow it. Not with our future child about to be born. And just who are you to state such things of importance, mage? Well, I didn't say it. Well, I did, but it's the prediction of my master, Lady Keel. Lady Keel? The crazy old woman that predicted the dark day of Hasphalt? The lady who predicted the earth monster attack of Crandallgem? Enough, dear. The dark day of Hasselholt was simply a rainy day. It wasn't even enough rain. The woman just shouted about the town that it would come, and she just got lucky. What about the monsters? They were a group of children that fell into mud puddles and then attacked a candy cart after they heard about the crazy old loon's prediction. Not once has the crazy old woman ever predicted anything of worth. She just preys on the weak-willed and gullible minds of the public. So why is it you barge in here with words of a madwoman, mage? I don't dispute Master's predictions tend to be a bit minor. This prediction has no way of not being wrong. After all, Your Highness, it pertains to the child to be born in this kingdom. They will be blessed with the destiny to defeat the demon lord. To quote my master, a child will be born of the king's blood, and with that, the blessings of a grand hero will be born under the light of a moonless night. They will lead forth a group to take down the demon lord. Well, you heard, my dear Giselle. We don't silence Handel. Since she said a child born of the king's blood. Don't you see? Our child will be a legendary hero that will take down the demon lord. But dear, you said yourself that I don't care. Clearly, the old bat is finally halfway decent prediction. Thank you, mage. Should your master's prediction be true, we shall reward you both. Seriously. I mean, I really could use the money, and master's not great with money either, but... Yes. Guards, send the girl away and get the things prepared for the great hero to come by finding the best magic teacher and weapons teachers across the land. I could offer my services if you need to help pay. No, I said we need the best. You did well. Now take her away. The queen beckons the guards to begin to drag the mage away. If I really could use the funds, If you need me, just ask for Eve. As the mage is taken away, Meryl returns to Eris at her side, looking at just as pregnant as the queen. The doctor, Eris Darkholt, as you requested, your majesty. Last, the doctor, where have you been? Demands the queen. Now, my dear Miss Darkholt, is White Handle, she will certain my dear Miss Darkholt, White Handle, she will serve us, not herself. The queen glares down at the young red-haired doctor, who doesn't seem to shirk down from her gaze, like the others. To me, Doctor, tell me, Doctor, have you and your science or magic determined what sex the child will be? I would like the future hero to get proper gifts. I'm afraid science nor magic that I have at my disposal can make such calls. But given my studies, you should know soon enough. The child will be born before the season turns again. As will this little one. Eris rubs her own stomach. Like I would care when the bastard child of yours is born. We have a future hero within me, and now, dear, the mage didn't say. She said the child of your blood. It's not like there's another. The queen looks at Eris again, and then the king. Tell me, doctor, how is it you came to be in our ploy? Well, I was born in the castle, and raised along with the king. In the time I was educated in learning healing arts and sciences to better serve the lords of this land. And what are your feelings for my husband? Now, dear, shut it, Handel, I asked the girl. We're good friends. Are you? So then tell me, girl, who is that child's father? Please, dear, let this... The queen halts the king's words by punching him in the face, sending him flying from his throne. Tell me, girl, that's in order. The queen moves before the doctor, grabbing her face and tugging at her cheeks. Is the father the king? Yes, my lady. The queen begins digging into her fingers into Eris's face, drawing blood, but Eris doesn't even flinch in pain. Guards! The guards move in close, ready to grab Eris, but the queen halts them. She instead moves to a large guard with a poleaxe in his hand, on his back. She grabs the weapon and wields it with great skill that would be fitting of one of the guards themselves, but in the hands of a high authority of the queen looked almost sinister as she points the blade towards the belly of Eris. Pushing it close enough, the blood begins to stain Eris's shirt. You nor your child will deny me of what I deserve. Enough, comes a shout from the king, staggering to his feet. Eris is not a threat to you or anyone in this kingdom. Her child threatens to take what is rightfully our child's destiny. And even still, this slut defies my power and seduces you to seize power from under us. Suddenly the queen feels a jerk from her weapon as Eris grabs the blade of the poleaxe, pushing it from her belly. The queen then turns and thrusts the weapon hard, jabbing Eris's arm, causing blood to come seeping out. You even try to define my weapon. My child is of no threat to you at all, but I won't let you threaten them before they even have a chance at life. Instead of pulling the blade from her arm, Eris pushes forward, pushing the handle outward towards tearing at the flesh of her arm, but still moves in to confront the queen face to face. No one is threatening your power or your child's destiny, but I will not deny my child life, nor the knowledge of the person that is her father. because I love Handel. He isn't some convenient means of grabbing power to me. He is my beloved friend that I grew up with and shared so many times of pain and joy with. You can say the same, or can you say the same for your feelings for him? Or is your heart so filled with envy and jealousy that you don't even know what love is? Eris glares back at the queen, who flinches as she draws within inches of her face, but then turns and walks away. But her steps fall short in moving forward as the poleaxe is once again swiped at her, cutting her right leg nearly off, causing the strong-willed doctor to fall to the ground. Still conscious, she begins to cast a spell of healing on herself, but it only halts when a second cut is this time through her left leg, cuts cleaner off. This time the sword the queen had ripped from another guard's belt. "Guards, seize all weapons from the queen and take her from this room," shouts the king. Eris, deep in tears, is still casting magic, and quickly joined by Meryl, who's casting a lighter, albeit welcomed healing spell as well. As the king rushes to Eris' side, the queen's fury had made a mark, but her words left a sting about everyone's ears for all the court to hear. "Let the bitch live. She likes to spread her legs so much for my husband. Let her never be able to deny any man by having legs to close ever again." The king comes out of the story in the past in the tears. "I was so weak. Your mother was so strong for both of us. If only I was stronger. I could have stopped Giselle. No, I'm still weak. I let Giselle make the rules, locking your poor mother to the tower, where she has no way of getting down safely. All I could do was plead for both of your lives. For years I was worried about the prophecy that you would be the great hero over Gil, though you both were born on the same day of my blood. I am sorry, my daughter. I prayed for you to never receive your tablet to keep you safe, and with luck you are safe. But now I fear your life is only be at a greater risk, more so now that you have a tablet. As I have been told, the queen fears you may still rise against her. Perhaps it's better you flee from here." "I'm not running. Mom wouldn't run when the queen threatened her when I was still in her belly. I won't run now." "But Azul..." The king stops his words, halting in a way that catches Azul by surprise. It's not like he stopped in shock or sadness. No, he stopped as if time itself had halted, and only Azul was placed outside of that time. But a glance about the room only confirmed this, as the other two weren't moving, all except for the slime form of Noir and Francoise, and one other, whose presence became known with a series of claps they made as they walked into the room. For as light came upon him, the good dressed, wearing fancy goggles upon him, the straight black hair stirred something deep in Azul's memory. The feeling of rage for the one man who was behind all of this had chosen now to appear and taunt her. "Well done! I couldn't have directed him better if I had chosen his fate. Oh wait, I did." "Issei," Azul growls. "Oh, my dear Mr. Ito, how cute of you to look in this little game of ours. I must say, red is your color. Without another word, even shouting out the commands of her attack, Azul uses her Devil's Rush to grab, to thrust across, and thrust across the room, grab hold of the fancy garb the god is wearing, but quick thrust of his arm, and turn, threw Azul crashing into the wall. Now, I told you, our fight is only after you defeat the Demon Lord. Did I not? Oh, but how can a little maid girl possibly have a chance at such a lofty goal? Why, you can't even take on the weakest of demons, let alone a demon lord's generals. I have in the we sorry. Why, you can't even take on the weakest of the demon lord's generals, the one I have here in the castle. I mean, you do have your tablet. Oh, but to play by your old world's ways over my world's, learn your place, Ito. Consider yourself lucky. Most scum like you simply get reborn as slime like your friends. You spent all your lives preying on the weak, so now it's time you have a taste of your own medicine. Azul staggers to her feet. So, you came here just to taunt me? No. I came here to see if you were broken yet. All you have to do is admit defeat, and I will let you be free to live as long as your miserable life, cleaning the filth of those better than you. All you have to do is give up, and I'll admit I was right. Don't you fucking dare give in to that bitchy slut. Or bitchy shit, Ito slut, shouts Francois. Francois. Oh, look, you have a cheering squad. Oh, well, I guess you are happy to be reunited in this world as well, I guess. Suddenly Noir leaps from the shadow, goes to attack Issei, but Azul does another Devil's Rush to block the attack from destroying the slime, who was once the man Ito did wrong to. Once again Azul goes flying into the wall. This time she's breathing heavy, and fails to be able to even get back up. Holding on to a fraction of your past, I see. Well, that's unfortunate. Still, I'll allow it if you give up now. Suck my dick, Issei. I'll never give up to you. Azul coughs up blood. She smiles a devilish grin, defying the god's requests. Such language. I really should have them beat you into being more ladylike. But, oh well. Have it your way. I do hope that your heavenly ally, though, will show up soon, because from where I stand, I seriously doubt you'll even make it a week further without any help from help to guide you to your destiny. Destiny is for stories and fools. I will beat you, Issei. Count on it. The god smiles, snaps himself away as the frozen time returns, and the others look puzzled as to why Azul is suddenly hurt badly. Azul, what happened? You were right before me, but now... Vendel moves in to look over Azul as the slimes move to comfort her. The girl looks to have several broken bones. It's like she took on a fight with a small group and barely survived. But without the proper treatment, I don't think she will. Jenny, Grell, quickly take my daughter to the tower for treatment. I'm ending this sentence of hers. Here. Zol reaches out an arm to Vendel. Teach me. What? Teach me to be strong like you. Fine, kid. But only after you get on your feet, got it? Grell quickly scoops up Azul in his arms, and Jenny grabs the slimes as they rush to take her back to her mother's in the tower, while Azul's smile fades into unconsciousness. So that was chapter 7. I'm going to take a bit of water here. Where we have the return of Issei to taunt some more. We also get the backstory of the birth of the two children, the brother and sister, that are Azul and Gil. But issues between Azul and Gil are not done. In fact, this next chapter is simply called Dueling Siblings. So here we go. Azul woke to find herself in her mother's bed. Francoise laying on her chest. She looked about the room, and her mother was there, asleep in the chair. "I thought I told you not to sleep like that," Azul, rasping, spoke, waking her mother. "Well, you're getting too big to share a bed with your mother, and besides, I may have used magic to heal your wounds, but your bones still take time to properly heal. But it looks like I'm not the only one you like to have in bed." Azul looks at Francoise and is a bit puzzled. The white slime slept like this the day before in the cell, while Noir was suited to sleep elsewhere. Francoise acted differently. "So what has my world-shifting daughter done to collect 2 new pets, Eris started to move about above in her chair, rolling it across the room where she has a water basin and pitcher, and slimes to boot. Azul forgot about her mother, found out about her past, and the goddess Ori. Last time she stayed with her, but she decided she couldn't keep secrets from her, so she began to tell her mother the whole story of who she once was and how she got here. The story of her agreement with the slimes and her asking to be trained by the mercenary Vendel. And lastly, of how she got badly hurt in her confrontation with the god Issei. Perhaps he was right to ask you to quit. Mom, look, no matter what you say or who you claim to be, you are still my little Azul. And when the captain of the guard and some weird muscle man in a duck tutu shows up carrying you all beaten and broken, you had me seriously worried. I can only heal someone so much, and I can't even be there at your side to heal you if you get hurt again. You aren't an adventurer, Azul. Even your tablet says so. You should stay in the castle where it's safe. Let others go out and fight." Azul didn't reply. She knew her mother meant all well and good, but she also knew that her destiny was already in play. When her mother left the room to tend to her needs, to make medicine, Azul plotted her next move. But again she stared at the white slime, still sleeping on her. Fran is really like a cat, I guess. "Listen, Ito, about what you did back there, against that guy. Why?" grumbles Noir. Grumbles Noir coming from the dark corner of the room. Azul thought perhaps Noir preferred dark areas as to why he was always hiding out in them. "Why? Why did you save me? Not just with the Isekai, but back on Earth. You were a heartless Yakuza, a stone-cold lady killer. But you still took pity on me. Why?" "I guess I owed you for the pain I caused you. Don't get me wrong, I've killed many guys before, but I've never liked doing it without a good reason. Pointless death was of no use when you could often get more out of people with fear and intimidation. So then why save me yesterday? Because I can't stand some powerful jerk bullying the weak. I guess I saw too much of him myself in Issei. Besides, you're the closest connection I have in life to that life. Well, it's not true, but I understand, I guess. Still, I'm not going to stand around and be some burden pet, only good to look cute and follow you around. Got it, Ito? Hey, you're not calling me slut anymore. Black Slime blushed a bit. Well, perhaps I didn't like to feel. I just didn't feel like it. You stupid jerk. Keep it with the fuck down. Keep it the fuck down, you ass wipes. I want to sleep more. Seriously. You'd also strive to get stronger, Francoise. After all, you're... Shut your fucking hole of yours, Noir. At least I find enough of things to shove into it until you choke. Francois' body mimicked a cat trying to take on an appearance of a larger than Noir, which in turn successfully got Noir to be quiet, albeit too late before Azul said, Wait, now that I think about it, you knew about the real me, too, but I never figured out why. Oh, you were famous around Tokyo. How could I not have gotten fucking heard of you? You goddamn piece of shit. Francois laughs it off, but Azul made the slime sweat. Fine. You stupid idiot. Guess it's only fitting you find out considering how often I would see you like this. You know, you're a real fucking piece of work, Hideo. I even told you not to get yourself killed, you stupid fucking jerk. But did you listen to me? Fuck no. I had to deal with your shit ever since elementary school, but still, you never even once listened to a fucking word I told you. Ryoko? Yeah, you big fucking surprise, huh? You die, and 2 days later, this stupid fuck took me hostage to get revenge on you. But in our escape, the moron had a seizure behind the wheel and killed us both. Now I'm a big fucking slime ball, literally. But am I free of your shit and watching you go out and hurt yourself? No, fuck no. You know how to treat a lady, you fucking bitch, Hideo. If you hadn't looked, Ryoko, I think I'm getting to punishment now. Francois begins to jiggle and chuckle with the serious face of Azul. Guess now the only skirts you'll chase are your own. The two laugh about their situation, but Azul suddenly stops. She realizes something. Oh crap, my clothes! Gil! She winces as she gets out of her bed. Hey, Hideo, where are you going? You need to be resting, Francois panics and saying. This can't wait. Azul moves out. Excuse me. Azul moves about down the tower, slipping out without her mother noticing, and with her slime's friends in tow, moving quickly to the room of the prince. Just before she reaches the door, she sees Kawa waiting outside. Hey, Zell. I thought Lady Merrill said you wouldn't be up and about for a few days. Out of my way, Kawa. I need to get in there. Well, sorry, but you can't go in there. Azul ignores her friend and throws open the doors, only to be stopped by something blocking the door. What the? I told you, you can't go in there. I don't know what the prince is up to, but he's been like that since yesterday. Azul presses her hand against the blockage, realizing it moves forward but it's bulky and returns in place only a small opening that is difficult even put her hand through it. In fact, or difficult to even put her hand through can fit. This feels like paper. Hey, Noir, Francoise, do you think you two can get in there? The two slimes squeeze under the opening, taking a thinner shape, and make their way into the room. Not much longer, there's sounds of crashing and Gil screaming. What are these things doing in here? Stay away! That settles it, Kawa. Do you have a knife on you? Yeah, sure, but... Kawa holds out their knife. Azul grabs it quickly and jabs the paper, tearing it open a hole. Yeah, first thing, these horrible creatures. Now something's destroying my work. Azul pops her head out to the room, which is covered on all sides in paper. On the paper is charts and scribblings about how best to do fighting things. How best to go about fighting things. I should have known the one destroying my plans would be you, Azul. Now, get over here and deal with these monsters. It appears they followed us from the bathhouse. Fine, guys, leave Gil alone. Looks like she still has a sore spot after fighting you all. Or looks like he still has a sore spot after fighting you all. Sorry. She looks over to the small corner of the room and notices her chest open and clothing all thrown about. I knew you were going to destroy my things, you jerk. I did no such thing. I merely was looking for something I thought you might have. Besides, what would I possibly want with some flat-chested servant girl's clothing? That's it, Gil. I'm going to be your I'm through being your damn plaything. Fight me right now. Zell, are you sure this is a good idea? Kawa says, sticking their head in. I mean, he does regularly get training in fighting, and you're lucky to get hurt, or not get hurt going upstairs. I fucking agree with the wonderful smelling weird shit bag, Hideo. You need to be resting, shithead, Francoise clearly states in her most unique way. I have no interest in fighting my party members. Your what? Azul stands puzzled. My party members, Gil repeats. I've been studying the book for a few days now, and I think I see where I went wrong. Entering any dungeon fight it's best to be fully equipped and have a diverse party. You, of course, are duty-bound to my side, Azul. And I figure that weirdo Kawa will be good as well. Wait, I'm in your party as well? Kawa states, surprised. Yes, but we'll need a small or skilled magician, a decent healer, maybe a few other choices, since Azul is nothing more than a weak little maid and all. Weak? Fight me, you jerk! I'll show you who's weak! The slimes and Kawa, each holding Azul back from attacking Gil. Of course, my plans are a bit torn, but we will go out into town tomorrow and seek out the properly equipped our team. Maybe find new members. No one can say no to me, after all. I am the future great hero and the crown prince. The day passed, and despite her mother's objections, a heavily bandaged Azul joined Gil in the town shop to gather proper gear. But I said no, kid. I don't care who you say you are. The damn royals ain't done me no favors, and I'm not about to drop the price of my gear for you. No. No how. The shopkeeper unhappily berated Gil, while Azul is trying to hide a smile at Gil's getting a taste of the real world for a bit. The kingdom is run by guilds, boy. All the damn king is these days is a figurehead, given he's far better than that insane wife of his. But here you come saying I owe you my best stuff because you're a royalty? The old shopkeeper spits at his words were done to extenuate his point. But I brought you money, see? Gil proudly displays a pink and purple small bag with Azul's, and Azul's smile turns to a fury as the shopkeeper takes it and looks through it. Hey, Gil, that's mine! So that's what you were looking for, Azul rages at her half-brother. Of course. You thought I had my own money? Well, my servants are always the ones who hold my money. Well, sir, what can I get with that? All that? Gil proudly demands an answer from the old man, while Azul is looking for the best way to murder her sibling and make it look like an accident. The old man reaches behind the counter and places a small sword on top. Here it is. This will be the best for you. Ah, surely a grand weapon. Tell me, sir, does this sword have a name? Maybe a grand backstory of how the noble blade it is. Sure, it's called the... Oh shit, it's a sword! Hailed from the legendary pile of junk that hasn't been broken on me yet. Look, kid, you two can barely have any money, and you both are still wet behind the ears. Why not go spend your money on some sap to train you? Or better yet, get jobs and come back when you have real money, Your Highness. We will take the sword then. No, we will not. That money is mine, Gil. I saved every coin I got there for all the extra chores I did, and while Dad and the Queen spoil you rotten, all I've ever gotten in gifts was uniforms and a few coins to spend on things I want or need. If you are so set on starting this quest, then you should work and make money on your own. Somebody came out of the slime dungeon with a nerve to talk to her superior. You're not better than me, Gil. Certainly am. Then I challenge you to a duel. What? I want to fight you. If you win, you'll leave me in charge of the party. Or if I win, you leave me in charge of the party. If you win, I'll submit to whatever embarrassing things you put me through. Sweet. Sweat begins to form on Gil's face. Fine, but I will have my instructors watch over the fight to make sure you do not cheat. It's fine by me. I'll do the same. What? You have instructors? Since when? That's for you to know and for me to show. Look, this is very nice and all, but if you aren't buying the sword, then I have one thing to say to you kids. Get out! The shopkeeper proudly throws the two out and tosses Azul's money purse on the street, which she quickly snatched up before Gil can act. 2 days passed before the siblings would confront each other. Most of Azul's injuries were healed, but it still didn't stop her from being scolded by her mother. Yet here she stood, staring down her brother in the courtyard of the castle. A man adorned in a flamboyant, foppish clothing was giving pointers to Gil as the two stared down, while Lady Merrill pulled up next to Azul. You know your mother doesn't approve of this, but the Queen is watching, so perhaps it would be best if you let Master Gil win this. I can't do that, Lady Merrill, Azul states, struggling to lift her sword that she was handed. Put that down, girl, Merrill demands. You aren't a warrior of weapons and armor. Told you this before. Your class is that of a maid. Use the tools at your disposal. Azul thought of Merrill's words and remembered the training with Vendel, where the practice sword broke with the fight with the slimes, where she held a broom, not only held together, but worked better than with her skills. Clearly Lady Merrill was onto something. Azul put down the sword, to cause of whispering of onlookers, and in turn she took up a push broom Merrill had brought with her. The foppish man walked into the center of the courtyard, as a collection of royal staff and even prisoners looked on. Today will be a duel between the future hero, Prince Guilford Martique, versus the Maid Girl, Azul Darkholt. This duel is to the one gets knocked unconscious or gives up. To the winner goes the right to lead the prince's party. May the best man win. Azul cringed a bit, knowing that the last part she was doing, or last part was to dig the fact. Sorry, let me get. Azul cringed a bit, knowing that the last part was to dig at the fact that no one thought she could win. The two move forward and face each other as people start to laugh at the Azul for taking a broom into a duel of swords. Noise also carried on by Gil when she reaches near enough to hear Gil's words quietly towards her. Again with a broom. How can you honestly think you have a chance at me and my sword? It's not the weapon that matters in battle, Gil. It's how well one uses it to fight. Azul smiles and grabs the broom to hold on to the handle, forth like a long-handed axe. Fighters ready? The two nod at the foppish man. Fight! Before the foppish man can even move away, Azul's already bursting her speed, swinging the broom wide towards Gil's unguarded left side. But Gil quickly moves to block the swing, and then pushes forward to swing his blade as he closes the distance. But a quick flip of the broom, and Azul follows through, launching the broom upwards, knocking Gil's arms apart, causing him to almost lose his blade. He rushes back to regain his stance as Azul flips about, pushing herself off the broom and coming crashing down nearby Gil. However, her curse comes into play. She slips on the landing, losing her footing just before a moment long enough for Gil to land the first real blow. More of your tricks, or are you just this unskilled, Azul? Azul doesn't respond in words. Instead, she spins along the ground, sweeping and tripping up Gil from below. She then kicks Gil in the side while he's down. Shouts of dirty fighting are called out at Azul. Gil gets on his feet quickly, but Azul is already in a defensive stance, holding out the broom, much like a spearman would hold his trade weapon. You think you're better than me, don't you, Azul? Me, who was given the divine fate to be a great hero of our time, versus you, a lowly bastard child of a cripple. Fury hits Azul's heart. She turns defensive stance wide open to a wide offensive one that leaves her open enough to get hit again by Gil's quicker movements of his sword swings. This time, the hit is hard, and while she could swear others could hear it as well, Azul could tell that the blow broke her already damaged ribs. She wouldn't last long if she kept losing her focus on the battle before her. Gil moved in to swing at a downward angle and tried to land a second devastating blow, but Azul is quick enough to block it with the handle of the broom. She pushes back on Gil's blow, but finds a difference she didn't plan on with Gil before when she went into this match. While she knew she had speed and even experience with fighting over Gil, her still child body was far weaker in strength than Gil's, so she couldn't trust her blows that she could land wouldn't be nearly as effective as his in turn on her. No, she needed strategy. More than that, she needed to attack him at his weak spots. Azul moved quickly, dashing away from Gil to get distance between the speed and build speed. Gil followed her as best he could, holding the wooden blade in its defense ready for an attack. When Azul knew she had a good 10 feet apart, she flipped back, sliding a bit wobbly as her curse moved in, but she was able to maintain her balance. And then she unleashed the Devil's Rush skill. In a massive burst of speed, she was already on Gil, her bare hands pushing his face downward, but her hands didn't hold the broom. Gil tried to swing, but found the force of Azul's pushing her whole body off of his face, distracting, and he was not able to land a clear strike as he moved to turn. Azul, who flipped and up and crashed face first into the ground. Gil tripped over the broom that was shoved under his legs. As he fell, the broom flipped up and smacked him right in the face hard. The blow caused him to drop the sword carelessly. Azul got up from her face plant, smiling hard, knowing that her quick plan caused Gil to lose a lot of ground on her. She quickly got up and tackled Gil, placing her knees across his arms, preventing him from even being able to pull his arms free, granting her a free chance to land several blows with her fists to Gil's royal mug. As she punches him, she thinks back to the past years of torture Gil had put her through. All the clothes of hers that he stole, all the outrageous orders, even the times he struck her for his enjoyment. And then something happened to her that she never would have done before in her lifetime. She began to weep for those painful memories. Within each punch she began, and with it, the force of the punches slowed. Sure, she used to show sympathy before as a smiling devil, but never before has she turned to such a crybaby about it. It was the hormones of her body getting to the great Hito. Was his killer instinct forever washed away from the forces of his attacks, or was something else? The concept would have to wait for now, the little framed girl, to think over as she suddenly grabbed by each arm by the guards and pulled off the red, beaten, and bruised face of a form of her brother. "Do not let her go!" An order was shouted out by the queen. Azul snaps out of her thoughts and stares at the damage she did to Gil. To have the guards get involved. Has she gone too far? But she sees the boy getting up, his face dripping in blood, yes, but it's Ito. Azul not only had seen people with worse heal it with no problem, but she too remembered such pain. Hell, the pain the god Issei did a few days ago was worse. She wondered what could cause the interruption, as such by shock hit her face when she saw something unusual from the prince. There, on his left side, where his eye was greatly beaten and bruised, his skin looked green, and the eye blinked from side to side, as almost if it was reptilian. Was the future great hero even human? The thought stuns Azul. Could Gil be the one Issei was talked about, the member of the Demon Lord's army? But the time for her to be lost in thoughts ends with a sudden sharp jab to her gut, the power of which would surely have her sent her to the ground if she wasn't being held up. The blow wasn't from Gil. Instead, it was from the queen. "You horrible child! You should have done what I started to do when you were still in your mother's womb." That queen was protecting her son. Did she know? An issue Azul couldn't think long about, as the queen strikes her face and then pulls her hair to present Azul to Gil, who has returned to his feet. Now, my dear hero, finish this duel as it should. Teach this girl her lesson for standing up to those in power. Azul cringed ahead of an ongoing blow. A thought hits her, and then there is still a way out. The same thing Issei wanted her to shout out as he beat her. The words, I can resign from this battle, or I resign from this battle. The group gasps at the grip. The queen tightens. The words didn't come out from Azul, but from Gil. Surely, you jest, Guilford. The queen stands in shock, but her grip only gets tighter and begins to hurt Azul. You are the hero. You should be in charge of your team, not some disgusting maid girl. This couldn't be Gil. Azul thought the real Gil wouldn't let her win. He was swapped out by Issei. But why? Why would the minion of the Demon Lord put Azul in charge of the hero's party, let alone a party he would lead? What strange reasons would the imposter Gil have in mind? So ends Chapter 8. I'm kind of glad we got to it. I was debating on whether or not I'd do Chapter 9 as well today, considering it is the final chapter of the children's story arc, but we will be getting to that next month. So we'll be coming back to that next month. Next week, again, as I stated earlier, we will be doing Demon Blade's Christmas and New Year's story. There are two Christmas stories. One was a sort of filler story that was just kind of non-canon that I did back in 2015, and we're going to read that, as well as the original Christmas story that occurs canonically in the series. And we will also be doing some other things. But tomorrow, for those who caught our stream last week with the Sailor Moon stories, we will be completing the Sailor Moon Andromeda Factor part 2 of this story. So we'll be completing part 2 of that story tomorrow, along with other live stream elements, covering some stories and elements for the Imbria Arts anniversary stream. So come in and join in for that. I hope you all enjoyed today's stories. If you want to have, as always, if you have something you want added to our list of story reading or for our drawing stream on Saturday, please like, comment, and subscribe. Any messages that you suggested stories are always helpful. Like I said, we're going to be doing some Christmas stories on the 22nd or 23rd. I think it's the 23rd. We'll be doing Christmas stories on that day. So you can all join in and listen to us tell some Christmas stories. And I will see you all again tomorrow for our anniversary stream. We will not be doing a gaming stream tomorrow, but we will be having a special anniversary stream. So I see you all then. Until then, have a wonderful evening.